Good morning class, welcome back to your online class. So today we'll still be discussing chapter 1. We'll finish up the chapter 1 today. We just have to discuss two topics from chapter 1 now, that is rounding off the number and writing the Roman numerals. Okay, so first let us discuss rounding off the number. Okay, now why do you need to round off the number? Now rounding off of the number is necessary if you want, is important if you want to end the number with the 0. Now why do you want to end the number with the 0? For easier calculation purposes. Okay, especially when the number is given in a decimal place, then rounding off helps in calculation. Okay, now we will be rounding off the numbers in three positions, that is tens, hundreds and thousand. Okay, first let's start with the tens. Okay, now everyone go to pay exercise 1E, question number 1. Round off the given numbers to the nearest 10, 100 and 1000. Okay, first let's start with rounding of the number to nearest 10. So if you look at question number 1, what is in a tens place? Ones, tens. So your number 8 is in a tens place. So when you are rounding off the number in a tens place, first rule is look at the number, okay, before that position. So here we are looking at the tens. So before tens comes your ones. So look at the number in a ones position now. What do you have? You have 5. So if the number is 5 or it is more than 5, then in that case what will you do is you will add one number to tens place and ones place you will make it 0. So your answer here would be 1, 9, 3, 6, 8, 9. Since you in ones place you have 5, so you will add one number to tens place. That means 8 plus 1 it would be 9, and instead of 5 you will write 0. Replace it with 0. Okay, but if your number would have been less than, if it would have been less than 5, okay, if it would have been less than 5, if the number would have been less than 5, then instead of 5 you would make it 0, replace the 5 with the 0, and the tens number would be as it is, that is it would be 8 only. Understood? Okay, so what is the rule? Let that be for tens, hundreds or thousands. Okay, you will first look at the number of, which is in a position, place value before that particular number you are trying to round off. Okay, here since we are rounding off tens, so you have to look at the number position before that. What is before that? So you have 5. Okay, so you look at the number in that position, place value. So if you look at the number and if a number is 5 or more than 5, okay, it applies for all three. If it is 5 or more than 5, then you will add 1 to the place where you are trying to round off, and the number place which was before that would turn out or would be replaced with 0. Okay, same thing applies here also. Since question number 2, if you look at question number 2, round off the given number to nearest 100. So 100 means ones, tens, 100. So 2 is in your hundreds place. So before 100 comes tens. So what is the number given here? 4. So according to rule, what is it? If the number is less than 5, then what should be done? Okay, instead of 4, it should be replaced with 0. So even this ones place positions number would be replaced with 0. Your 2 would be as it is, and other number would also be as it is. Is that clear? If the number would have been more than 5 or 5, then you would have to add 1 to this hundredths position. Okay, now let's do the question number 3. Question number 3 is a multiple type question where you are rounding up the number to nearest thousand. So ones, tens, hundred, thousand. So in thousands place you have 6, and before that is hundreds place you have 8. So 8 is more than 5. That's why you will add 1 to 6, 1 to this number in a thousands place. So 2, 3, 9, 6 plus 1 would be 7, and 8 other number would be replaced with 0. Okay, so if you go through the multiple choice question, then 2, 3, 9, 7, 0, 0 would be your answer. Ones, tens, 100, 1000, 10,000, lakh, 10 lakh, 23 lakh, 97,000 would be your answer. That's how you round up the number. Just having a basic idea is important. Okay, especially rounding up is done when you have a number in a decimals place, but even though just having a general idea is important for your further classes. Okay, when you go to the senior classes, there if they ask you to round up the number, then you need to have a basic idea from your lower classes only. Okay, so I hope you understood how to round up the number. Just 2 rules. First, look at the number that you are trying to round off, find out the place, well, and before that, what do you have? Number. If the number is 5 or more than 5, you will add 1 to the place number of that particular place you are rounding off. Okay, if the number is less than 5, then the number where you are rounding off would remain as it is, and other numbers would be replaced with 0. Okay, other numbers in different places would be replaced, before that would be replaced with 0. So I hope you understood this. So you will complete exercise 1E. Okay, so you will complete exercise 1E, and later on I will send you the answers also in regard to this particular exercise. So next we will be discussing about Roman numerals. Roman numerals. Now what is Roman numerals? I hope you have already done this also in class 4, even though let's revise. Okay, Roman numerals, how to write a Roman numerals. The numbers that you are writing like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all these are termed as Hindu Arabic numerals. Okay, now this numbers can also be written in an alphabetical form, that is 1 is written as I, 2 is written as 2I, 3 is written as 3I, then 4 is written as 1V, then 5 as V, then 6 as VI. So this one is referred to as Roman numerals. Now writing the Roman numerals, you have to follow certain rule which you have to have clear idea about. Only then you will be able to convert the Hindu Arabic numerals into Roman numerals, and Roman numerals into Hindu Arabic numerals. Okay, now before going through the Roman numerals, converting the Roman numerals into Hindu Arabic numerals and Hindu Arabic numerals into Roman numerals, you have to go through this basic numerals of both Roman and Hindu Arabic. This should be learned by heart. Okay, here first starting with 1, then you have 5, then 10, and then you have 50, then you have 100, then you have 500, then you have 1000. Okay, now 1 is represented as I, 5 as V, 10 as X, 50 as L. Okay, then you have E, 500 as D, 1000 as M. You have to learn this by heart. Only then you will be able to convert. Okay, 1 as I, 5 as V, 10 as X, 50 as L, 100 as C, 500 as D, 1000 as M. Is that clear? Now we will go through the different rules of writing Roman numerals. So first let us discuss rule number 1. Rule number 1. Now if you read the rule number 1 that is given in page number 9, if a symbol is repeated twice or thrice, the value of a numerals is obtained by adding the value of a symbol as many as times as it is repeated. Okay, any symbol can be repeated to a maximum of 3 times, not more than that. Okay, and whenever you are repeating the symbol, okay, when you repeat the symbol, the same symbol, in order to get the Hindu Arabic numerals of that, how can you get that? By adding it. For example, if I repeat this Roman numeral I 3 times, then what does that means? I means 1. So if you add I 3 times, what do you get? 3. So this is in Hindu numeral it is termed 3. Okay, so whatever the numeral you are repeating has to be added in order to get the Hindu numeral. Okay, that is rule number 1. Now let's go to rule number 2. Now what does rule number 2 tell you? Let's read. When any smaller value symbol comes after a greater value symbol, then add the smaller to the greater. Now what does that mean? Okay, so you have this V and I. Now if you look at V, what is it? It is 5. V means 5. And what is I mean? 1. So if in a question, if the lower value symbol comes after the greater value, 5 is the lower value, and if it comes after the greater value, the lower value symbol comes after the greater value, then you have to add these two numbers. That is 5 plus 1. So 5 plus 1 will be 6. I hope you understood, right? Now next is your rule number 3. Now what does rule number 3 tell you? Now if you read at the rule number 3, when any smaller value symbol comes before a greater value symbol, then subtract the smaller from the greater. Okay. Now here I means 1, V means 5. So if the smaller value symbol comes before the greater value, this 5 is greater, so before that, if smaller value comes, then you have to subtract the smaller value from the greater value. That means 5 minus 1, it is 4. So this means 4. So that is rule number 3. Okay, now let's go to rule number 4. Let's go to rule number 4. Now according to rule number, if you read the rule, a symbol of smaller value put between two symbols of a greater value is subtracted from the symbol on the right. Okay, so if you have smaller value number, because X means 10, B means 5, I means 1. So if you have smaller value number sandwich between greater value, then in that case you have to subtract the smaller value from the number which is given in the right. Is that clear? The one which is given in the right, from that you have to subtract it. That means 10 plus 5 minus 1. So 10 plus 5 minus 1 is 4. So this would be 14. So this will be 14. So whenever you have a smaller value sandwiched between two greater values, then smaller value should always be subtracted from the value is given on the right, and then sum it up. Then you get the answer. So this 4 rule, you should have a clear idea about these 4 rules. Only then you will be able to convert. Okay, so rule number 1 says if you have the same symbol repeated, okay, then what do you have to do? You have to add up all those number, and remember, any symbol can be repeated only 3 times, not more than that. And rule number 2 says if you have a greater value, and after greater value, if you have a smaller value, then smaller value and greater value should be added. Rule number 3 says if smaller value comes before the greater value, then smaller value should be subtracted from the greater value. Rule number 4 says if you have a smaller value sandwiched between 2 greater value, then how do you get the Hindu Arabic numerals? First, you will subtract the smaller value from the value which is given on the right, and then add it up with the remaining number, then you get the answer. So these are the 4 rules. Okay, now let us go to exercise 1F, and then after if we practice this exercise, then we will have a clear idea about what we are talking. Exercise 1F. So exercise 1F, question number 1. Express the following in a Roman numerals. So you have to express the following in a Roman numerals. So question number 1A, you are given 40. So 40 is nearest to 50. Okay, nearest to 50. That's why first write 50 minus 10 equals to 40, right? So 50 means L. 50 means L, and if the value comes, smaller value comes before the greater value, then it is subtracted. So 10 means X, so this would be your 40, because L is 50 minus, if it comes smaller value comes before the greater value, then it is subtracted. That's why this would be your answer for 40. Okay, now next one is 17. Now 17, if you compare 50 and 10, then it is nearest to 10. So 10 plus 7 is your 17. Okay, and if you break it further, 7 can be written as 5 plus 2. Okay, so 10 means X, 5 means V, and 2 means, if you repeat it twice, you get it. Okay, so this is your 17. If you break the number like this, and then if you convert it, it becomes much easier. But if you are very much confident without breaking also, if you can write it, then you can do it as per your wish, because you have already done this in class 4 also. So some of you might know it properly, right? You can confidently convert it without converting it into number. But if you are new to this, if you have forgotten what you have done in class 4, then follow this step, breaking the number to the nearest of these numbers, then you can insert the symbol, then you will get the answer. Similarly, let's do it for 67. Now 67 is also nearest to 50, so 50 plus 10 plus 7 can be written as 5 plus 2. This would be your 67. So 50 can be written as L, then you have X as 10, then 5, then this would be your 67. Okay, so I hope you could do exercise 1. Rest please complete it on your own. Now next we will be writing question number 2, that is, write the following Roman numerals as Hindu Arabic numerals. That means you are given Roman numerals and you have to just convert it into Hindu Arabic numerals. Okay, so let's do exercise 1F, question number 2, that here you are given Roman numerals and you have to convert it into Hindu Arabic numerals. So let's take question number 1, LIX. So first write this number according to the symbol. Okay, L means 50 and I means 1 and x means 10. If we follow rule number 4, then if you have smaller number sandwiched between two greater number, then what do you have to do? First you have to subtract it from this and then add to 50. So 50, 10 minus 1 is 9, so 9. So the answer would be 59. Understood? Now let us do exercise 1F. Okay, here you are given Roman numerals. You first need to add it up and first convert it into Hindu numerals, add it up, then again convert it into Roman numerals. So x is written as 10, this is also 10, if together it is 4, then this question is 1. Oh, this is L, x, L means 50, x means 10, this is 5. So it would be 10, 24 plus 65. So it would be 89. Now convert this into Roman numerals. Okay, so 89 can be written as 50 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10, 80. Then you have 10 minus 1 would be your 9, 89. So 50 is your L, this is x, x, x. Now if you want to write 9, then this is, if this is x, if it comes before, then it would be subtracted. So your answer would be L, x, x, x. So this would be your answer. Okay.